Hey guys, I'm Spy1127 here, bringing you Naruto chapter 594, The Progenitor. So the chapter begins, back with Naruto, Kakashi Guy, Kyuubi, and Tobi. The Ghetto Mazo statue is still turning into the Jyuubi. It hasn't turned into the Jyuubi yet, so I don't know what is taking so long. Anyway, Naruto and the others are trying to figure out how Ghetto Mazo is supposed to turn into the Jyuubi, even though it doesn't have Gyuki and Kurama. Gyuki just realized that Tobi has a portion of his chakra because of the tentacle clone that Kyuubi used to escape getting Gyuki extracted from him. And Kurama tells Naruto to switch minds so that Kurama can explain like how Tobi has his chakra as well. And when they switched, it was actually pretty cool. Naruto looked like when he's about to use Kyuubi's chakra, way back in part 1, I guess. So anyway, while he's using Naruto's body to talk to the others, he explains to them that Tobi has a portion of Gyuki and his chakra inside the Ghetto Mazo. And he also explains, which we already know, that the pot and the gourd contained Ginkaku, and he explained how they got his chakra, and how they became pseudo Jinchurikis. And also, I just realized, Atsui and Samui are still inside the gourd. So they're eaten by Ghetto Mazo. I think that's probably the last we'll ever see them. Yeah, anyway, Kakashi says something that I thought was actually pretty smart. I'd like to do something before it's revived, if possible. If he wants to do that, why didn't he do it sooner? But, whatever. And then Tobi says something that I start to worry. And he says to Kakashi, "You always open your mouth so easily. It's no wonder you lived a life of regret." And then he tells Guy, "You don't remember faces, so what's the point in telling you who I am?" Tobi, are you Obito? Because I swear to God, if you are Obito, then no, I refuse to believe it. I don't care about the theorists. I don't care if Tobi is Tiger Mizuki or the ramen guy. As long as it's not Obito, I'm okay with it. I'd rather have Tobi be no one at all. And I don't care how much it bugs me, but if it's freaking Obito, then no, just no. Because he says that he lived his life full of regret. How does Tobi know about Kakashi's life? Is he a person that Kakashi knows? He's most likely a person that Kakashi and Guy know, or that he knows about Kakashi and Guy. Maybe he spied on him or something. I don't freaking know. It's kind of confusing. I swear to God, if it's Obito. Anyway, then Kurama starts telling everyone about the Jyuubi, saying that its revival will signal the end of the world. Kishimoto, I think, is pretty much overhyping this thing because we still don't see it, and yet he's saying that the Jyuubi, which we already know is a fusion of all the 9 bijous, is saying that it's the beginning of all chakra and the god who created the country. So the Jyuubi created the countries, the nations, and is the actual source, the original source of chakra. How the hell did the Rikido Sennin beat it if it's pretty much a god? Does this mean the Rikido Sennin is an uber god? I don't know. Anyway, we learn more about the Jyuubi, which we even get to see an image of the Jyuubi. It's got 10 tails as usual, and it's got 2 skinny front legs, but I don't know what exactly it could be. I'm guessing it's a hybrid of different animals. I thought it would have been a dragon, but I guess not. And it's got a weird looking thing on its back. It looks like I don't know what the hell it is. It looks like a shell, or could be I don't know, it looks like a root. Anyway, Kurama says that the Jyuubi goes by many names. Ame no Hitotsu no Kami, Atara, Deidarabochi, etc., etc. And also it, again, hyping it, saying that it could swallow oceans, splits the land, carries mountains, creator of everything that exists in this world. How the hell did the Rikudo Sennin beat this thing? Anyway, Kurama says that the Jyuubi is really strong and they probably don't have a chance against it, but there probably is a chance since it only has a portion of the Hachibi and Kyuubi's chakra. However, Tobi says something which I really want to slam my head against my desk, because he says this: the Ten Tails revival doesn't need to be perfect for my purposes. It doesn't need to be perfect. And yet he's trying to capture Naruto. Yeah, I know a perfect Jyuubi might be better than an imperfect Jyuubi, but he says that the Ten Tails doesn't need to be perfect. He has the tentacle of the Hachibi, the chakras of the Kyuubi, and yet he is fighting Naruto and the others. Why doesn't he, just leave the battle, retreat? I know he ran into Naruto and Killer Bee and started fighting them because, hey, why not, capture the real sources and create the perfect Jyuubi? He's like, but then during the battle, he's like, screw it, I'm just gonna summon the Jyuubi. Here's an idea. Escape the battle, retreat, summon Geromazo, get it to eat the tentacle and the gourd and the pot, turn it into the Jyuubi, and then cast your damn Tsukiyomi against everyone. You could have done that. The plan would have been complete. Done. But no. He didn't. He didn't retreat. If he did retreat to somewhere far away, he'd probably have time for the Geromazo to become the Jyuubi. And another thing I just realized. The purpose of this war, this fourth great ninja war, was to capture Naruto and Killer Bee to get Yuki and Kurama, right? I mean, he was like, hand over Naruto and Killer Bee. The Kages were like, no. And he's like, okay, fine, I'm gonna declare war on you guys. What was the point of this war if you could just create an incomplete Jyuubi for your Tsukiyomi? What was the point of the war? It was to capture both Naruto and Killer Bee, right? But yet, you have portions of the chakra to create the Jyuubi. What the hell was the freaking point? And pretty much, he just pretty much, instead of creating a war a devastating war, you pretty much united all the nations together. He pretty much united all the nations together. And I just don't see what the point is this war anymore. This is just getting ridiculous. He also says, this world no longer needs heroes like Hope or the Future. If the Jyuubi is revived, even if it's incomplete, I'll be able to use Infinite Tsukiyomi. And then reality will end. All that will exist is a single, never-ending dream. And then Naruto says, he says this: all kids look up to heroes. That's why I was able to keep running forward without getting lost. I'm going to become the Hokage that beats all the previous generations. And yet you focus most of your time trying to save Sasuke. I'm just saying. And he says, that's my dream, you idiots. And then for some reason we get this little funny moment that Killer Bee reveals he has a fetish for middle-aged women. Tsunade better watch out. We actually finally get some action. On the second last page, Naruto uses in his Kyuubi chakra mode, and he launches a Rasengan against the Geromazo, but is blocked by the Uchiha fan. It's been a while since I've seen him use that fan. So the chapter ends with Naruto and Tobi about to face off against each other. Yeah, so that's Naruto chapter 594. Honestly, I thought this chapter was okay, but I didn't enjoy it as much as the previous chapters. I thought this chapter was pretty much a build-up to another fight, which will hopefully be better in next week's chapter. and it's pretty much stalling the Jyuubi's revival. I mean, just reveal the Jyuubi already. What's the big deal? And also, them pretty much explaining how they got the chakras. I just, to be honest, most of the dialogue I didn't care that much. And the fact that Tobi said that he could summon the Jyuubi without the incomplete form, and it doesn't have to be perfect to cast his genjutsu. What the hell was the point of the war then? If that were the case, then I guess he could have tried to persuade Kabuto to summon Ginkaku and Genkaku. Maybe he didn't know that Genkaku and Genkaku had the Kyuubi's chakra, but if he did know, then he could have gotten Kabuto to summon them with Edo Tensei, and then he could have had his plan complete. So, yeah. So, overall, this chapter, it was okay, but I didn't enjoy it that much, so I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I'm hoping next week's chapter will be better. I just want to see what the Jyuubi looks like. And this chapter, once again, it's pretty much stalling and build up to the upcoming battle between Naruto and Tobi. Tobi could have just retreated and, revive the Jyuubi wherever he is, far away, so they couldn't reach him. I mean, why couldn't you do that? But, yeah, hopefully next week's chapter will be better. That's Naruto chapter 594. I'm Lunar Spiral 11.